Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose qualifiers. For the American region, this is Cup number 2 of Stage 1, leading on to Stage 2, where 3 players will advance on to San Jose, as we now find out which extra player is going to be in Stage 2. 2 players will go from this cup. One of them will either be JonSnow or Bales. The other will come from the lower half of the bracket later on. I'm pretty sure that Base Trader will probably be covering that one. We cover one round of 4 match each, so... and we're opening things up on Nimbus here for JonSnow and Bales. Yeah,
it's going to be a good map. It's the first time that we've seen Nimbus so far this evening. We've seen a fair bit of JonSnow, actually, so far. And he's pulled off some pretty awesome games, as well as some mighty fantastic comebacks. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do here. According to Aligulac, this series is actually pretty balanced. It gives Bales actually the advantage over JonSnow, but only it's like, I think it was like 55, 45.
Pretty close, pretty close.
Like that, yeah. So.
Like, yeah, I can imagine so. JonSnow is actually, we've seen him in these past couple of games do very, very well against his Protoss opponents. Bales is probably going to be his biggest challenge out of those, because both of these players are actually Challenger League tier when it comes to the American region. Bales has been in Challenger League every season throughout 2014, whereas JonSnow, I believe, has only been in it once during 2014. So... or vice versa.
Interestingly, up against each other, they're currently 4 games to 5 in favor of Bales.
Okay.
So they played each other a fair bit, actually. So going to be interesting to see what's happening. But looks like we are going now into Nimbus as the first game. This will be the last series we cast, of course, as one of these 2 will qualify for stage number 2. That's going around the 11th of November, isn't it? Stage 2.
Yes, 11th November after BlizzCon and stuff. So it's a little while off, but in the end, it should be quite good. Should be quite good. So, yeah, as I said, Nimbus is going to be our map. JonSnow has looked good so far. His kind of opportunistic Zerg style that he's been able to kind of shut people down with has worked well. But against Bales here, top-tier Protoss in America, let's find out how well he's going to do. Game number 1, spawning up to the top left-hand corner. It is our red Zerg representing Solaris Gaming. It is JonSnow. And then to the bottom right, it is our blue Protoss. It is Bales. Bales. Great.
Flipside Gaming, of course, going up against Solaris Gaming here. So, of course, Solaris is a big NA team. They've got quite a few people on there. I don't know that much about Flipside, actually, though. In terms of opening, do you reckon we'll see JonSnow go for the hatch first, or just a little bit safer?
Hatch first would be nice, but look at this. It's already saving up quite a lot of money. It's
going to be a 9
spawning pool. Okay, then.
Well, I guess he's hoping that maybe he can catch his opponent off guard if Bales were to go a little bit greedy, say with the Nexus first. Of course, you've got the base in the base on Nimbus. So it's certainly a possibility.
Well, I mean... Also, like, let's think about how he's been opening up his past couple of series against Protoss. He's actually gone for earlier pools a few times, trying to see what he can get done with it, right? So, this one's quite early though, quite early indeed. So, depending on what Bales actually does here, if he skimps out on units, but he shouldn't do. He should like start a Zealot and then maybe try something, but. We'll see. We'll see.
He's not going to scout the right way, unfortunately. So not going to get the earliest information about this spawning pool coming down first, which is a little bit of a nuisance. He could have done with getting an earlier scout just to know. I don't think he will skip the Zealot. Like, he'll probably just wait to cancel it. But it all depends on the timing of this. The drone coming out here as well, just to try and guarantee the spawning position.
This is actually a little bit sad for him, because that means that the Zerglings might head up to the top right-hand corner and cross the path of the probe. Because he wants to really find out where he is. Although
no, they should just run to the middle. They should just run to the middle.
Yeah, because the Overlord spots up to the top right. You're right.
And that means the probe isn't quite going to see them.
It's not going to see them. Nope. It's not going to see them. That
so close.
Sad. I forgot about the Overlord. But he sees these 2 lings at the end.
Bear in mind there's no Zealot in production either.
Yeah, he now just starts it. It's a little bit later than he would have loved it to have been, but... So it's going to be 10 lings going up against the Zealot. It's all about the Mothership core coming out after the Cybernetics core is finished, really. But how much damage does he incur during all of that time?
Well, already the lings coming on through. They're going to be gunning straight for the probes. Most likely, just forcing off the line. Going to try and get a bit of damage down. The Zealot is nearly finished. Chronoboost should be spent on the Nexus as soon as it is available in order to get that Warp Prism Mothership core out as quickly as possible. The Zealot going to be taking a bit of damage. Quite a few probes getting killed as well, but the Lings getting a bit of work done. 2 more coming on over us. 12 Zerglings in total so far. But there's the Mothership core.
So overall, what did he really do? He killed 3 workers and a zealot for having this disadvantageous position of the worker deficit that he finds himself at. But overall, we have seen JonSnow recover from worse positions in this qualifier. So
the Link's still here, trying to be a little bit irritating, but they're going to get shut down. They get 1 additional drone, but the thing is, killing a zealot and 4 workers doesn't make up for being 6 workers down for getting out 12 Zerglings early. Also, the delay on the natural base as well because of that. All in all, this is, I'd say that's a fine defense for Bales, and he's in a quite nice position.
Yeah, it does okay. I mean, he was really anticipating the idea of maybe a Nexus first and going up against something like that to then get some, really maximize the damage. But unfortunately, does not get that and is going to get even a few cheeky shots off there. But yeah, at least those Zerglings actually denied this from being super aggressive and pushing across the map as quickly as it would like to. It is a bit of an annoying composition to go up against.
Oh. Well done, Sentry. Tickle beamed it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously there was also a delay on the Nexus for Bales here because he had to get out the Zealots, so doesn't get to skip those, but he can go and poke and prod a little bit now and be a little bit annoying. The Queens are out, so not going to be able to do too much here, but all in all, it's still nice. The Queen got to be just a little bit careful. Oh, the Creep Tumor picked up. That's actually quite a nice pick-off.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. Throws the Time Warp down as well to try and slow all this down. Really wanted that Queen kill, but unfortunately is not able to get it. The pursuit wasn't really that successful for that Zealot. So really saving the Time Warp there to try and pick off the Queen overall was not correct. Really couldn't get that. So this wall should be fine. Not really a whole lot going on from here on out other than taking the double gas. We're really trying to catch up with that. Really wants some tech speed out, anything really, as Bales is trying to just secure himself back at home.
Yeah, all in all, this is just Bales playing quite standard at this stage. JonSnow adding in 2 gases. That's pretty normal. Also going to look and try and prod with this. Oh, nice force field. Yeah, that's going to get 3 lings for free. So
yeah, it's not too bad. I don't mind that trade at all, considering, yeah, of course, force field, 50 energy, it's quite a lot, but because you have an extra sentry out there, you're not really running the risk of too much going on here, especially when you also have vision. Still with your Mothership Core and a pylon over here. Twilight Council was going down and spotted instantly.
Seeing that Twilight Council is quite nice. There's only 3 gates, and right on cue, there's a couple of Spine Crawlers getting started on up. But yeah, all in all, JonSnow is getting quite a late third due to this. He hasn't been able to drop one. He isn't going to be able to drop one for quite a while, actually, just because of the pressure. The Mothership Core keeping a check on that as well.
What the? These units are being so feisty. Could he not technically just sit outside here and always contain? I mean, there is the opportunity, but so you could keep him on 2 bases for quite a long time if he does this.
And that would be really annoying. Of course, he's just going to be keeping a good little check to see if there's any lings or anything coming out. But yeah, force fields could just keep on coming down that ramp. And that'd be a pain.
It's very, yeah, it's very rare that you see the idea of a contain come down from a Protoss on a Zerg like this, especially on this map, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, that Spine Crawler technically has a little bit of extra range against this, but there you go.
Nope. Poor Spine Crawler.
That age-old argument of making Spine Crawlers massive to try and break down force fields comes back to bite us in the end.
Now the debris has got to get slowly worked through. Of course, this just does take forever. And bear in mind, we're nearly at the 10-minute mark here, and there's no third even started yet for JonSnow. Blink is a quarter done. Of course, all those speedlings there are quite scary. But
yeah, he's going to force the recall if he finds it. There's not really much more he can do, but he may just go straight across the map. If this sentry isn't paying attention, could be a bit annoying, but at least he gets his third base down.
Your third.
Did he start it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not going to get up anytime soon. Oh. Okay, separates a few lings off there to actually go up to the sentry, gets the force field, and forces the cancellation. Good start. But of course, the third base for Zerg has been quite severely delayed, and he's going to go and try and deny it with the force fields on the ramp as well. Really nice play here by Bales, but he has to be very careful about the speedlings lurking in the middle of the map.
Yeah, they're coming on over quickly. Just trying to get early information. He can mass recall out. He's got a lot of energy there, but I don't think he's... actually, with those force fields, which are really... Oh, no, there's a gap. Never mind.
He can get it and recall out. So nice. So nicely done. Really good positioning there on the Hatrios, highlighting the force field location just before he threw it down because he had the opportunity to get the deny, and that was beautiful. But for now, he needs good force fields to be able to secure his third, because that's a lot of speedlings.
In grand total, there's 57 of them on the field. Again, we're seeing that 1-1 about to kick on through. That's a big upgrade advantage.
Tries to go for the round, but the force fields are good.
Yep, keeping most things nice and safe, but these are still 1-1 lings. They're very scary. There's not really many zealots there.
There's not many force fields left
nope.
either.
This is a problem right now for Bales. JonSnow has got a very scary force, actually.
Yeah, if he actually loses all of those sentries, that is a huge chunk of gas invested into that. And also, the main might actually be break. Well, no, there's enough force fields actually to keep it away. But third has been denied on the other side of it. Warp Prism as well as the okay, this game's all over the place to start things off.
Crazy, crazy stuff going on. +1 is about to kick in now for Bales, but JonSnow still has that upgrade advantage. The Spire is seen.
Yeah.
That ain't going to finish.
All of those lings on the way back to try and reinforce, and they're quite a way off. So, but more zealots need to be warped in if he wants to continue on this assault, because the Spire, if he gets all the lings back here and sorts it out, well, at least he can prepare back home with the double Stargate.
Yeah. But it's probably going to be pathogen glands coming down now. Okay.
Oh, it might be a fake. Oh, that'd be so sick. Like with the Infestor, just why would you actually need to use the Spire right now when it's been spotted, but even Pathogen Glands and Infestation Pit hasn't? Oh, this would be so cool. Let's go, JonSnow.
This is really smart play. Really, really smart. The Lings are again going to come in and try and contain. Of course, he did see the Twilight Council really early, if you remember, so that may have triggered this playstyle, knowing that, hey, my opponent's not going to have any Colossus, not going to have the ability for any AoEs, so these Lings can just really have a good time on this map. And as you see, that Spire is a complete fake. Infestor's now coming on through. The Phoenix production really ramping up. Again, further delaying any Colossus.
Bales, Bales, Bales! Well, he wants to really get that Observer, that's for sure, because right now it hasn't seen the Infestation Pit, but he doesn't want it to see the Infestors. Chases it away, at least for now. Maybe you'll see a little blur again. But still Phoenix. Technically, I actually, like, it really depends on how the engagement comes along, because Phoenix don't do too badly against the idea of Infestors if they go and pick them up instantly, if they catch them out of position and just negate them completely. But, well, here comes a warp in. Those fungal growths are going to, like, he's going for the Spire. It's like, well, that doesn't really matter in the end.
He's just like, cool, have my Spire.
Oh, the force fields. So nice, so nice.
And of course now Bales is here being like, hey, I just took out the Spire, I'm in such a good spot, yay!
Still hasn't seen Infestors though.
Nope.
Still has not seen it.
What may trigger a bit of concern is, hey, why aren't there any Mutalisks attacking me?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. But Bales is doing a really cool job of just keeping on this like warping pressure and always keeping JonSnow on his side of the map. Whereas back at home, he is trying to transition on to, you know, the +2, the charge, but he's going to be running up against a wall of Ultralisks and Infestors. I mean, how is he actually going to shut that down without proper damage?
Well, he does have some Immortal production coming on through. Nody's also stopped the Phoenix production at this stage as well. So
has to.
He knows that Spire was a complete fake out now at this stage, so he should know what's coming. But when we factor in that Adrenal Glands is already done, the 2-2 is done for these Lings. Be careful, Infestors. But yeah, this is going to be really difficult. Adrenal Glands when it comes in as well. Those Zerglings are going to be so powerful.
I mean,
there's no AoE.
Yeah. I think maybe he did, because if you look at his vision and what he's seen, he's just seen the Infestors, yeah, of course, but he hasn't really seen the Hive. He didn't see the Ultralisk Cavern. I think his read of Immortal comes purely off the fact that he clicked on units and saw that 2-2 was researched for Zerglings. It has to have been.
Yep.
Off the back of what has been currently shown, considering the Spire and everything like that.
Well, it is not going to get seen now. A couple of force fields coming on through, but of course Ultras, they are big and heavy, so they can go crushing through them. Mass Recall being forced out already, and, well, this alerts you to what's coming, but...
This base could actually get overrun, but, again, Bales is buying time. He's now got the double Immortal production on the way to get him a lot of firepower behind all of this, but... Whoop. Well, those Lings kind of trailed a little bit too far there. This isn't... I don't know. I don't know if he can break this with just 4 Ultralisks. If he positions this army right. Look at these Zealots just at the front, tanking a little bit of that damage, denying the Ultralisk from getting good position. Jeez, that Ultralisk. He was really angry at that sentry. Phew.
He's just like, all those force fields earlier, I remember.
I used to be a
Nom, nom,
Zergling.
nom, nom, nom.
Poor little guy. But anyway, the Phoenix, well, they're not really doing too much at the moment. If they could get an Infestor or two on like a retreat out, that would be super sick. Because getting the Infestors, denying some of those fungal growths later on against something like a Ling Ultra composition is really, really going to help you.
Pylon taken down, that's going to stop some of those additional warpins from coming on through, but still the Warp Prism is just being very, very effective here. And Ultra is basically having to stand here on guard duty at the natural base. But yeah, this is... Where were the Queens? Where were their Queens over there? What were they doing?
Yeah, there's 11 of them even with this army. If the creep spread through the middle of the map was like super, super aggressive here for JonSnow, I would adore what he's doing right now. But because it's not, any engagement he wants to take with the main brunt of his army is going to be severely either slow because the Queens have to catch up and then provide the transfuses, or it's going to be a little bit less effective because he doesn't have the Queens with the army. So he really has to kind of find the balance here as JonSnow without having that creep spread there.
He's drastically trying to pick up that Warp Prism. It's being so irritating for him. But yeah, this game is really funky, Kalaris. The Viper's now coming out. That's an interesting choice. But I'm concerned about the High Templar, the feedbacks, and also the Storms against the Lings. That's really nice for Bales.
I mean, he has choices with the Vipers, right? Technically, he could pull towards him the Immortals, which is kind of cool. But because Immortals are slow and clunky and kind of stubborn about their movement, Blinding Cloud could equally be as fantastic against this. So it really does depend what he wants to use. But I think in the end, I'd probably opt for Blinding Cloud. So he's got 5. You don't want to be abducting like 5 Immortals at the same time. Maybe into your Lings, of course, but Blinding Clouds across this whole army could be cool. That's a lot of High Templars, though. Jeez.
And they've got a decent chunk of energy as well. The Storms are just going to be devastating to the Zerglings.
Look at this. Bales, he's looking for blood. He's just going straight into this 4th base.
Oh, the Queens are out of position quite a long way. That's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, you're totally right. And there's one grab forwards. The Mothership Core are going to be taken out. But all the feedback straight onto this army. Blinding Clouds catch a lot of these Immortals, though. They're all very, very clumped up. But at the same time, the army supply absolutely plummets here for JonSnow. Really not too much left to his name. If a big, big warping round comes to help out these Immortals still, then he is going to absolutely run over this 4th base.
And right on cue, there comes the Zealots charging on in. This is very irritating at this stage, and it's a big problem for JonSnow. He's down massively in terms of the army supply at this stage, nearly half. And with the quick warp-ins, this is going to be a real nightmare. The Storms were just so good. There is only 1 High Templar left, though, but there's no Vipers. The Infestor count is much lower at only 2. And still Bales keeps chugging on forward.
This army that Bales has created is brilliant. GG, well played. Bales is able to take game number 1. Sick reads, really good army composition, really good positioning in the end, and great harass.
Yep.
Really cool harass to see. Be it the small kind of slight contain from the Zerg trying to transition on from 2 base to 3 base, or be it the good force fields, the natural base to... Yeah, get a Spire, but, I mean, it was all about reading into what else was going on behind his vision.
It was very, very nicely done by Bales there. So, JonSnow going for a bit of an unorthodox strategy, slightly a bit more unusual. It's going to be interesting to see what he does in game number 2. I'm not sure if we know what game it's or what map it's going to be yet. I'm just trying to take a check, but no, I don't think we have seen the vetoes for the moment. In terms of the other side of the bracket, I don't believe that's advanced any further, but let me double check that. It's Moose Kills, either Frog or Boyce.
I think that might still be going on. I'm wondering if it's on base trade.
That was quite delayed. So is that...
Fog's 1 game up at the moment. So, wait, how is this game going? It's looking kind of bad for Boyce, actually, now that I'm looking at it. He's got 4 drones. So
that's never a good sign.
Yeah, it might be Fog versus Moose Gills in that other round of 4 match.
Just waiting for the game still to come on up. Bales is in game, so we should be getting our invites shortly. And, well, of course, this is the final series on this channel for the night, because whoever wins this series is going to be going on into stage number 2 of the America qualifiers for Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. They'll be joining 8 invited players, as well as the 2 players who qualified 2 days ago. And the top 3 from that stage 2 will, of course, go to the main event with their travel and hotel covered. Plus, they go straight into the group stage, which means they don't have to battle through the terrifying open stage, which can be very scary.
It's very, very tough. You get a lot of good Koreans in those, which again, if you think back to stuff like the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto, I'm pretty sure Life went through that. I mean,
Yep. It's
Life.
people you don't really want to be meeting in a
Yeah.
in an open bracket. It's people you don't really want to be meeting at any point, actually, in your bracket, until maybe the grand finals and be like, oh, I had to find him somewhere.
I thought you were about to say just in life in general, and I'm like,
No.
well, you know, yeah, meeting Life down a dark alley, just this little
I've met him.
17-year-old kid.
I've met him. He's really nice.
Yeah, he's cute.
But, no.
Foxtrot Labs is the next map.
This is interesting. We haven't seen this tonight.
No, we haven't.
We actually haven't seen it very much at all in the qualifiers.
No, you're right. But overall, again, the way in which Bales played out that game, JonSnow, like, I mean, what answers did he have? Not too many. Bales played out a really, really cool game, really ferocious. It's like we've seen JonSnow dismantle these Protoss in the previous rounds, but then he now comes up against a real challenge in Bales and is bringing it to him. And he's now one game away from moving on to the second stage of this qualifier. So let's get into it. Game number 2 on Foxtrot Labs, as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner. It is our blue Protoss. It is Bales, currently 1 game up. And that was the wrong key. There we go, the right key. And up to the top right-hand corner, trying to equalize the odds, representing Solaris Gaming. It is John. All right.
So, currently 1-0 up for Bales. If he wins this, he advances on into that second stage of the America qualifiers for Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. And this could be his moment. What does JonSnow do against Bales, who just seemed to be on top of everything last game, despite getting a little bit caught off guard by the Ultralisks?
Well, already Bales is taking precautionary measures against any kind of earlier pulls and throwing that pylon down here, so he may start even wall-offs at the front. So if JonSnow was to do anything early spawning pool-ish, I don't think it'd really work out too well, as Bales is right on top of it already.
Well, JonSnow not going for his 9 pull like he did in the previous game. Instead, just droning up nicely. Meanwhile, Bales should just be going for a gateway opening. Nice and safe, nice and steady here. All looking good. Of course, Foxtrot Labs is actually a really annoying map to take your natural as a Protoss, because it's so far away to try and wall off. Your Photon Overcharge doesn't cover all of the area up that ramp, so Zerg player can just chill there. Generally, it can be a bit of a pain. Meanwhile, JonSnow is going to be going hatchery first.
Can get away with this, not a problem at all. And realistically, what we're seeing from here is the fact that he sent this probe out after the gateway, and he's actually taking double gas behind this. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. So sending the probe out, you know, it has dual purpose. Like, you get over here, you would see Lings if they were on the way anytime soon, and that would allow you to prepare that wall off a little bit quicker. But also, you know, now seeing the fact that there is a gas down along with this spawning pool, has to be a little bit careful about taking his natural with the potential speed being a threat.
It'll be interesting to see how this does play on through. Of course.
Okay. That's kind of cool. He's just going to not get any gas and rush out the Nexus, considering what he's already seen. So I guess the gas was there just in case he did see the fact that something really aggressive was going along. He could get that gas out and then once he's defended, follow up with something potentially aggressive himself.
Of course, an Overlord has seen this for JonSnow, though, so he's aware that this Nexus has come down quite quickly. But again, not too much he can really do about it quite yet. He is going to be able to start speed up very quickly, though. And as I previously mentioned, it can be a bit of a pain defending that natural on this map, just because there's so much space outside of above the ramp that Photon Overcharge doesn't cover it. Getting a wall off at your natural isn't really that viable because the wall off isn't covered by the Photon Overcharge. So this could be quite interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, just continuing on this wall. Actually, this is kind of cool placement here from Bales. Basically because one thing that we saw from him in the previous game was this kind of Colossus-less style, right? And also, JonSnow exhibited the fact that he was messing around with his opponent a little bit, like, Spire, haha, it wasn't Spire, it was Infestor, more fool you. But overall, sometimes if you try and wall off this top of the ramp, and you put the Cybernetics core here, Archons and stuff like that can't get through later on, just through this little choke. So walling off like this after realizing that there's no kind of threat will technically allow his army later on to have a bit more mobility if he needs to go down the Archon route. It's a small thing in the end, but it's kind of cool. I like it from Bales.
A couple of Lings coming on through now. It is only going to be 4 for the moment. Quite a few lava are there, but they're going into drones for the moment. Speed nearly finished as well. But yeah, this is This is still pretty cool stuff. Nothing too crazy. Interesting decision on... Actually, it's not that crazy. Taking this third down to the lower right here is JonSnow. But yeah, Claris, what do you want to see from our Zerg player here?
What do I want to see?
Did you just zoom on a cleaning bot?
Maybe.
I really like the cleaning bots. I have a robot cleaning bot.
Oh, do you have one of those little vacuum things?
It was the greatest investment I ever made.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, geez, maybe I should get one then. Okay, nothing. What do I want to see from the Zerg? This is a good question. Ooh, it looks like we might get an Immortal push here from Bales, actually, with the +1 being at time it is with the Robo. There's certainly an opportunity for him to do something like that if he wants to. So, from JonSnow, on the other side of things, he's actually going for melee. He looks like he really wants to deny like a third base, but if there's no third base going down, if it's only Immortals... Oh, but he sees the Fribbiter. Oh, it's a Warp Prism. Oh, cool.
Again, JonSnow doing a fantastic job of scouting out nicely. Ideally, Bells is going to want to try and hide the fact that it's a Warp Prism coming on now. Does he have anything to deny that Overlord with? He has 2 sentries, but if he moves them back to deal with that, suddenly his wall off is no longer complete. So
it's just 1 sentry.
What's he going to see? Ooh, no, he comes back. Oh,
yeah,
so smart.
He really wants to stick around to see what's coming out of that.
So smart.
Do you cancel it, Bales, at the very last second? No, you do not. So you just let him see the Warp Prism. But again, Immortal follow-up. No observers during all of this. It's going to be a 2-base Immortal push by the looks of things here. But with Sentry harassed to kind of try out the very beginning. And he's actually... Where is he going with these Lings? Like... This wave of Lings was created to deny a third, but it's... I mean, there's no third in sight.
They're coming to check anyway, to see. Like, definitely no third base. They're going to come zooming on back. Going to need to try and deal with this sentry drop. And where is he rallied to? Is he just going to go straight into the main? He is. He is. Annoying times.
That's cool. That's cool. But all in all, JonSnow has had a good read on this build, this play style, for a long, long time in this game. So JonSnow has a lot available to him, really, to be able to deny this. He's already up at 54 workers. Can go up to, like, 55, 60, so he might want to be... Don't want to be cutting it too close there. And this does get forced to be
a lot of drones are pulled off the line there.
Yeah. Oh, those are kind of cool force fields, but in the end don't really do a whole lot at all.
Prevent 15 seconds of mining.
Yeah.
Bit of a nuisance, but...
Look at the catastrophic results. Roar! Well, no. Okay, so 5 gateways, a lot of Immortals. 3 are... Well, third one's about to pop out, and the probe is moving down here somewhere to do something. But he has a Warp Prism to also be able to reinforce from the front.
It's going to get that third. It's going to be seen by JonSnow's lane.
Is he really? I can't help but feel it's like a fake.
Yeah.
It's such a weird fake, though. It's like, ha, you knew I was going to change my plans, but now you see 3 Immortals and
No, in the ultimate fake, he keeps the third.
I mean, we have actually in the past seen that kind of play come out, but this is going to force a lot of units. Maybe he does keep the third and then just recalls back, but he's at 48 workers. He could be a little higher. Like, he has the option for a recall, that's the thing. If we see Time Warps be forced out, then there is the potential that he just gets stranded. But
JonSnow trying to find a nice position to flank behind here. He wants to get this around the mothership.
He's got to leave. Like, oh, well, there's a Time Warp, and he actually technically does have energy for a recall, but at the same time, these Immortals, they're kind of on top of by a lot of these roaches at the back, but he's bought a lot of time, and not only that, but he forced out a lot of force fields in a place that isn't really that favorable there for Bales.
Yep. Bales still has momentum here, but as you said, only using 1 Time Warp, so does have the option to mass recall out again. He was able to pick off a fair chunk of actual resources, and he didn't lose too much. He's lost 5 sentries and 2 stalkers so far this game, but more reinforcements coming through. Behind this pro production obviously isn't going on, but the 3rd Nexus was allowed to finish.
Yep. More pylons are on the way here to try and get out, make sure he's not going to get supply blocked. There's a lot of queens here to reinforce on the right-hand side as well, but overall, Bales' army still retains its 3 Immortals, so there's still a lot of power behind it, and Immortal production has not stopped behind this.
It's getting very scary. The Hydrogen is now finished. A couple of Hydralisks are very important in holding this off longer term because they just wreck everything here. But yeah, 6 of them coming on out. More Warpins coming through. Quick little check by a couple of Zerglings to see whether this third base is producing anything. And there's only 2 units there. So this is a good little scout for JonSnow, because he knows now that a lot of commitment's coming into this, and he's going to just keep pumping out units.
Yep. He's actually going up to 6 Immortals soon. So if he can... Oh, he's okay. He's going to retreat on back overall. Just didn't feel like he had any power behind any of that. And now with that gone from the front, it's 52 workers to 47. So JonSnow still retains that. His Lung Roach Hydra army is going to be quite strong, but there is an opportunity here for Bales to just push again, because the big important part about that recall is he consolidated all his Immortals together.
Oh, those are some nice spots. We've trapped quite a few Roaches, actually. Going to be able to pick up those easily. Moving on forward, the sentry count is insane. 15 sentries there.
Yep, and 6 Immortals. So this is going to be, if the force fields land correctly, this is going to be really painful for JonSnow. The army supply is technically in favor of Bales. Oh god, this is
there are
really
Hydras though, and they do have Groove Spine as well. The Hydra's count is up at 15, and that is just a massive damage dealer up against this army without any splash. But as you said, the force fields are there. They start shooting them out already. The Immortals engaging quite well already.
But there's a huge chunk of this army really not doing a whole lot for JonSnow. And
there's just so many force fields.
The force fields in Immortals, I don't know how he's going to be able to break through this. Sure, he got the Mothership Core, but the Warp Prism is still alive. The Immortals have pretty much gone untouched here. And this Immortal push, not only the first wave looked kind of scary, but the recall back to actually get all these 6 Immortals together, it has the power of Hercules behind it. It is so strong here from Bales.
An attempt, drones coming on through, but Bales is in a nice position. Once drones are getting pulled, you know it's not good times for the Zerg. The Immortal's still alive, the force field's still coming on through, and additional reinforcements coming down onto the map here. 63 army supply to under 30. This is a beautiful spot for Bales. GG, well played, and Bales qualifies for stage number 2 of the America qualifiers for Intel Extreme Masters San Jose.
Now, Bales made that look very, very scary.
Yeah.
With the way he was executing it, always kind of forcing out the unit production in the first wave, as an Immortal push normally does, but then recalling behind it to save his 3 first Immortals, get those extra ones back. 6 Immortals together with that many force fields. It's going to be hard to break.
It is, and as I said, that of course means that Bales now goes on into the second stage of this qualifier. He goes up against 2 people who qualified on Tuesday, as well as the 8 players who were invited there. They're going to be battling it out for, of course, 1 of 3 spots to go to Intel Extreme Masters San Jose with their travel and hotel paid for. There are 2 more America Cups, though, coming on up for 4 more spots in total.
Yeah, we have one tomorrow, same time, and then we have one on November the 4th, same time. So,
is it November 4th, or will it be November 3rd for America? Because it'll be November 4th for us, because we started like 1 AM, but it will still be...
true. So it's November 3rd technically for America. But that pretty much wraps things up for us here. Don't forget, guys, to go over to intelextrememasters.com, where you can find tickets for the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. All you have to do is look at the top of the page, and it says, get your tickets for San Jose here, and then follow the links and instructions. So make sure you get that, because San Jose is going to be awesome. And also, don't forget to go and tune into BaseTrade TV, www.twitch.tv/BaseTrade TV, where they are currently streaming Fog versus Moose Gills for the second spot for tonight. They're just wrapping things up with their round of forecast. And that pretty much does it from us here, Maddles.
Yep, it has. So we'll be back, of course, tomorrow night, same place, same time, for Cup number 3 of the America qualifiers. We'll catch you all then.